It's gonna take a while for this to dry out, and we got more rain coming. So for now, I am going to keep working on taking control over the weeds that are growing along our fence line and into our in-ground bed. I'm gonna get myself busy. I'm gonna finish my coffee, and we're gonna go ahead and start pulling more weeds again. Gotta stay on top of that. I've already started over here. I got this little corn patch. This is the peaches and cream corn. I got a lot of the grass weeds pulled out and along the fence through here, cleared out in between my basils and marigolds. Chickens got some of that stuff I pulled out, some collards. Always finding some weird bug out here. And let's not forget about the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will carry you away. Now we're working around this area where I have my cucumbers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the muncher cucumbers. So they're gonna bush out, and I had to clip the extras because I did like 3 seeds. Not sure what was gonna come up. 2 of these I thinned out. There were 2 growing side by side, so hopefully this will be enough room for them. My 2 favorite garden tools. I need to invest in a new one of these, or try to bend these back, which I've tried, but that's pretty hard to bend back. That just goes to show in the years past how hard our ground was and how desperate I was to use this in the ground. It totally bent those forks, but it still works. I'm gonna use that tool again through here and then just hand pull all of the weeds in between the corn so I'm not disturbing those roots. I had 2 extra borage that I'm gonna transplant out here with my corn and squash. So I've already got one with these squash plants over here. I got that one in. So I'm taking advantage of the soil right now since it is still damp. I transplanted, these are the yellow zucchini squash. I had 2 that came up here, So I removed one of them. There's another borage over here. This is the other zucchini, yellow zucchini squash. I got it in the ground. Hopefully it'll bounce back. Borage. The Black Beauty zucchini. I'll give this to the chickens. Okay, back to borage. So now we have 5 borage out here with the squash, zucchini, corn, and green beans. Borage. And we got that one there. And we have these 2 I just transplanted. That one there and that one there. While I'm pulling weeds, I'm also gonna pull off these damaged leaves off of my pole beans. But getting closer in, you can see the leaves on the ground. Some would say leave them there, but I've got pests out here and I don't want to have a breeding ground for them. I got the raised beds cleaned out. This had carrots in it. We've harvested all of our carrots and the peas. We had picked all the peas. And then I came through yesterday and pulled all of those out. So I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of what all I had did yesterday. We have cilantro coming up, our peppers. Each bed I have peppers, and I'm going to come through with some zinnias and other flowers that I have. Zinnias will be direct sown by seed. I have a few calendulas and some other flowers still sitting in their seed cell trays that I want to get planted out here. I've harvested beets. These are getting ready to be pulled. The dahlia, I have it tied up to this trellis. I'm thinking this is going to be the big dinner plate dahlia. I have dahlias on each trellis. Over here we have the oregano and sage. We've also harvested a bunch of lettuce. You can see it's starting to stem up. It's not bitter yet. I've been giving some of this to the chickens, but this over here I want to harvest before it starts going to bolt for some salad. I like to have salad for lunch. Now we're stepping back here to the back fence line where this will all hold water in the back here. And I had a few tomatoes. I still have a couple, but I had tomatoes where my other cucumbers did not come up, that I was planting out in March, direct sowing. So those cucumbers that did not come up, I had a couple tomatoes out here that looked like they were struggling with all of the moisture. So I pulled them out. I got all the grass cleaned out, and it is just soggy wet. So these beans are struggling. These are the black bush beans. I plan on doing a succession sowing of these, but I need to come in and mound this up. I'm gonna get my edger, edge this again and mound it up to hopefully save these from root rot. So I'm glad I got all of the weeds pulled out of this bed. It was taken over with, that is a morning glory spreading out. Zinnias that come up on their own. I've tied this asparagus up. I'm gonna have to come through and redo that. But here is where the other dahlia is. It's a very pretty deep color. Starts out like this, and then it slowly turns into this beautiful burgundy red color. It's so pretty. We have fire ants that are popping up in places I don't want them, like here, for instance, in this bed. Those are some more pepper plants. So all of my peppers will be a big mix of all different sorts of pepper plants, between banana peppers, jalapenos, bell peppers. And over here is that, I'm getting bit by ants. The ants are everywhere. Fire ants. I cannot stand them. But anyhow, this is my pinto bush beans. They seem to be doing good over here in this spot. If you want reseeding zinnias, just let them go to seed and they'll come back year after year. These are my trusty garden tools. I showed y'all this one and this one yesterday. This is my edger because I want to edge the bed behind the raised beds over there. But this is the progress. I was going to show you where I transplanted a couple of my tomatoes. This is a large fruited cherry tomato. It's got a little cluster of tomatoes down here, and some blooms, so it's starting to produce. Those will be good in the salads. But this is one of the tomatoes I transplanted. This is a Roma tomato, and after I transplanted it yesterday, the leaves wilted on it, went into a little stress, but it's bouncing back this morning. I gave it a little water. Like I said, the grounds are wet, so it's a good time to do any transplanting if you need to. This is slow bolt cilantro. I have another one I'm gonna put in beside it, so we'll have our cilantro and our tomatoes. These zinnias came up again from last year, and this little tomato, it was in a seed tray. Well, I had up potted into a little 3x3 cell tray, and I had it sitting in the raised bed, and then couldn't find it until I cleaned out that bed, and here we are with this little tiny tomato, Bonnie Best. So I just popped that in, and this was the other Bonnie Best that was sitting in another little 3x3 cell seed tray. So I got that one in yesterday, and San Marzano was on the back fence line near those beans. and it was struggling. The wind had even toppled it over. It was totally bent over and growing sideways, so I dug a deep hole and transplanted it over here. The dirt on these leaves is why you see that, because it was knocked over. So whatever rain we get should wash that off, or I'll just throw some water on it. Not throw water, but you know what I mean. Spray it with some water. So this bed here I did with some of these blocks that we had on hand. So I created that around this chicken coop area. And I got my tomatoes in. Oh, and I also transplanted a few of these marigolds. They were growing in clusters that reseeded. So these two down here, they're still in a little bit of shock, but they should bounce back. And over here, this is the in-ground bed that I created. I have a beefsteak just like this one, but it was sitting in another little seed tray. So with beefsteak, I'm gonna put the other one here. This is some more salvias, marigolds, a delicious tomato, another delicious tomato. They've got some buds. Down here in the middle is black prince. I have two black prince. You can see the size difference. But this black prince, the color of the leaves are very pretty. They're like a blue-green, almost purple color. It's my first time growing black prince. We have a few already on here. This one is not taking off as fast. It was also one of those that was left in a seed tray a little too long. It'll catch up. And then this is the German Johnson that has quite a few buds on it. And already starting to form little tomatoes. I've also mentioned that this is my first year trying a Florida weave around these tomatoes. So I just start by tying my string, and I run all the way down, and I'll go loop around the tomatoes all the way down. I'll bring it back around, tie it to that post, make another round on the opposite side, looping around the tomatoes, and I'll just tie them to these posts, and I'll keep doing that pattern and hope that it works. If not, I do have some more fence panel that I can put up and then just tie the stems to the fence panel. Beefsteak, this is the little seed tray container. These weeds are just getting ridiculous out here. There's some red earthworms out here. It's good. I thought that was a pumpkin seed. I got it center. So as it comes up, I'll wind it through this. And then I'll just keep working my way up to the top. Guess we'll have tomatoes coming in at different times throughout this growing season. This is the humidity out here. You can literally see it. That's how thick it is. It's pretty bad, and I don't recall humidity being that dense. Definitely feels like a sauna out here. I've got bee balm and dill I need to transplant. Do I want to put it in here? Can't decide. I thought about my raised beds, but it's wild bergamot, bee balm. I'm thinking about putting it in this bed, this in-ground bed with the tomatoes. I think that's what I'm gonna do. All the decision making. I think I might do that because I was gonna put them in the raised bed, and then I thought, well, what if they take over? So over here it wouldn't really be a problem. Those silver aster, they're real little, but I went on ahead and put a group of 3 out here. This is where I was thinking about putting that bee balm. So this will be the purple silver aster in that bed with some pepper plants, slow bolt cilantro. And this is where I'm gonna put the calendula. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these in. Earthworms. Glad to see that. Chicken compost really helps. And all of that old straw I had put down in here. Any little earthworm I find, I'm gonna stick it right back in the ground. So here's our calendula in this bed. These ants, I gotta take care of these ants. Go to pull any of these weeds and they go crazy. I have dill, and this is chia seeds that will take over a bed if I allow it. So I want to put it somewhere where it can have space. But I still have dill, so I'm thinking with the bee balm, wild bergamot, I might go in and do some dill through here too. I might as well. Chia seed, I have to figure out where this one's gonna go. The bee balm, marigold, dill, marigold, and bee balm. The only thing I have left now are the chia seeds. They need to come out. This is all of the purple basil here. I might try to split this purple from the white. The 2 plants root system still intact. So I'll do a white one there. Just want to kind of break that up. And that way it'll know it can send its roots out once I get it in the ground. Put a white one here. That way I got these basils out of my way. I'm gonna put the other white one here, each on either side of this borage, and then I'm gonna put the purple one right here in the middle. Got those in. Now we gotta move these purple basils. Got these two over here. I'm gonna mimic that over here. Get those three in there. These purple basils are right there. Add this little grouping over here with these two. Alright, so we got this whole end cap done. Well, I got all of my little seedlings transplanted. I'm gonna water everything in. We didn't get any rain yet, but it's coming. So if you've been hanging out with me this far, thank you. Everything looks so much better after cleaning everything out.